The fight between Mihawk and Fujitora needs to happen soon, and here's why. So, we know as of chapter 1056 that Mihawk is a part of the Cross Guild now with Crocodile and Buggy on Empty Bluffs Island. We also know that they're supposedly backed by many shady organizations and that they're also issuing bounties on the Marines, which is turning the tables on the Marines' whole system of bounties for pirates. So naturally, the Marines caught wind of what the Cross Guild is starting to do and identified the main leads of the guild, which is Crocodile, Buggy, and Mihawk. And Mihawk has the highest bounty with 3.5 billion berry bounty, which is higher than Luffy's current one. And so it makes sense why the Navy wants to take care of this issue as soon as they can. The most sense it would make at the moment is to either send Fujitora, maybe Green Bull, or the both of them to take over the Cross Guild before it creates a lot more problems. Because if this doesn't happen, then sooner or later, I believe the Cross Guild will start to acquire more people under their guild, and they'll eventually maybe head to places and just start taking over areas like Impel Down and possibly just free criminals from there like Doflamingo and have them work under the guild. And I think that would just be another problem for the Navy, and it's just not going to be good. So obviously the Navy doesn't want that, so let's just say they send over Fujitora and possibly Green Bull. Although they might not be the best duo, I mean, they don't really like each other, so I don't know if that would be the best idea, but I believe it would make the most sense for the story. But most importantly, if Mihawk ends up going against Fujitora, if Mihawk beats him, especially if it's like an easy fight, I think this will finally back up the claims of Mihawk being the strongest swordsman. And why am I even bringing up this topic of Mihawk versus Fujitora in the first place? I want to explain why we need it, and it's mostly due to the lack of feats that we have seen on screen from Mihawk. His best on-screen feats, I kid you not, are beating base level Zora, cutting a frozen tsunami wave, and being on par with Vista, the 5th Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. You all have probably been hearing these same feats for the past, 15 to 20 years, and that is because he has done nothing else. Honestly, all of those feats could be currently done by Brook. Honestly, and I'm not even trolling about that. I swear, this is not the same Mihawk that was described to us near the beginning of the story, where he was said to rival with Shanks and often clash with him. We have not seen that after 1100 chapters. So, in my opinion, I think this is the best time for Mihawk to showcase his skills and protect the Cross Guild by going against Fujitora. Now let's kind of look at how that fight would go. I personally think the Marines would send both Fujitora and Green Bull, but just for this video's purpose, let's just say Fujitora pulls up and Mihawk goes out to 1v1 him. We know that Mihawk and Fujitora have supreme grade blades, Fujitora having the Yakuza Kasen, and Mihawk having the blade Yoru, which actually means knight, which is pretty cool. But we also know that Mihawk's sword is the only supreme grade sword that we know of that has a black blade. And so if he didn't paint it, that means he would most likely has the strongest sword in the verse. And also shows that he is qualified enough as a swordsman to turn it into a black blade. To get this black blade on the sword, it needs to be forged into one by their wielder through countless battles. In chapter 779, Zoro remembers what Mihawk told him. Mihawk saying, "You must treat every nick as a mark of shame. Every weapon can be turned into a black blade like mine." We know that the black blade is difficult to get and needs complete mastery of the weapon, and we know that Mihawk has that. So him going against Fujitora would prove that his skill is not fake, and I think it would also be cool to see two supreme grade swords, although on different levels, I would say, clash against each other. I personally believe that this will be an interesting fight, and I would like to see what Mihawk does against Fujitora's gravity fruit, but it probably won't be much of a problem for him. I think although Fujitora is one of the best swordsmen in One Piece, if Mihawk's strength is real, then Fujitora doesn't have a chance. And that's why I really wanted to make this video, because if a fight like this doesn't happen soon with Mihawk, and him not decisively winning, then Mihawk is officially, after over 20 years of One Piece, a fraud. I hope this fight happens soon, but let me know in the comments down below what other matchups would be good for Mihawk to go against first to show us his strength. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.